My brothers and sisters, have you ever sat in a room full of people yet felt completely alone? Have you ever reached a point where the noise around you fades and all that remains is silence? A silence that feels heavy, unsettling, almost painful. Many people fear being alone. They see solitude as a sign of weakness, as if being alone means being broken. But what if I told you being alone can be one of the greatest blessings Allah gives you? When Allah wants to guide you, He doesn't always send people into your life. Sometimes He removes everyone. He clears your path so that you can finally hear His voice, feel His presence, and discover the strength that was within you all along. There is a world of difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is emptiness. It drains you. It makes you crave people's presence, their attention, their validation. But solitude is fullness. It is peace. It's when you are alone but your heart is connected to Allah. You don't feel incomplete, you feel whole. Because your soul is anchored to the one who never leaves. Look at the example of our beloved Prophet Muhammad DFA. Before revelation, he would retreat to the cave of Hira, not because he hated people or wanted to escape life, but because his soul longed for silence, for reflection, for connection with Allah. And it was in that solitude that Allah prepared him for the greatest mission in history. It was in that silence that the first words of the Qur'an were revealed. My dear brothers and sisters, when your heart is full of worldly attachments, being alone can feel unbearable. But when your heart is connected to Allah, solitude becomes your sanctuary. It becomes the place where you find clarity, strength, and peace. Today, we fear silence, we reach for our phones, we scroll endlessly, we avoid sitting with our own thoughts. But how can we hear the whispers of our hearts or the call of Allah if we never sit quietly and listen? Solitude is not a curse, it is an opportunity. When you are alone, that is your moment to rebuild your connection with Allah. To cry in sujood when no one is watching, to talk to Him with honesty, not memorized words, to find your purpose again. Sometimes what we call loneliness is actually Allah calling us back to Him. The world may abandon you, but Allah never does. Sometimes He takes everyone away so you'll turn to Him alone. And in that moment, you will discover a peace no amount of company can give. Remember Prophet Yunus as alone in the darkness of the whale's belly. He called out to Allah with sincerity, and Allah heard him. Remember Prophet Musa as at the edge of the sea, trapped by Pharaoh's army. He said with conviction, "Indeed, my Lord is with me, He will guide me." That faith turned fear into strength, and Allah split the sea for him. This is the power of knowing Allah is with you. When people leave, it's not abandonment, it's an invitation from Allah. When the world goes silent, He's saying, "Now it's time to listen to me." My brothers and sisters, silence isn't empty. It's full of answers, full of mercy, full of healing. It's a spiritual detox, a moment to clear the noise of dunya from your heart. It's a reset button for your soul. The Prophet DFA said, "Whoever believes in Allah and the last day, let him speak good or remain silent." Silence teaches wisdom, patience, and self-control. And the most powerful conversations you will ever have are the ones between you and your Creator in the stillness of your solitude. So the next time you find yourself alone, don't run from it, embrace it, whisper to yourself, backhand index pointing right, "This is my moment with Allah." Because when Allah fills that space in your heart, you will never feel empty again. People may leave, situations may change, but the love of Allah remains constant, and what once felt like loneliness will reveal itself as mercy in disguise. Crescent moon indeed, Allah is with those who are patient. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:153. Silence shows us our fears, our insecurities, and our regrets. But don't be afraid of that, that's where healing begins. You can't fix what you refuse to face. Silence gives you the space to face yourself honestly, gently, and with Allah's guidance. So, the next time you find yourself in silence, don't rush to fill it, sit with it, let it speak to you. Let it soften your heart. Let it remind you that you are not missing out by stepping away from noise. You are returning to peace. Use that silence to remember Allah. Even if you say nothing out loud, let your heart whisper Alhamdulillah. Let it remind you that every breath in that quiet space is a gift. The Prophet would spend long moments in reflection, not just praying, but thinking deeply about Allah's creation and His own purpose. That is a sunnah we can all bring back into our lives. My dear brothers and sisters, silence is a mercy. When you pause the rush of the world, you begin to taste peace again. You begin to hear your soul calling you back to what truly matters. You begin to sense Allah's closeness in ways you never could when distracted. Don't fear silence, embrace it. Seek it because silence can heal wounds that words cannot. It can restore faith that was fading. It can bring clarity where confusion once lived. And most importantly, it can reconnect you with the one who never leaves you, Allah. When your heart is noisy with worry, sit in silence and say, Ya Allah, quiet my mind and fill my heart with you. In that stillness, you'll find a peace this world can never give. Sometimes in life, Allah distances you from people, friends stop calling, relationships fade, the crowd becomes smaller. You wonder why, but sometimes Allah isolates you not to punish you, but to protect you. Not all separation is loss, sometimes it's divine protection. Allah hears conversations you didn't hear, He sees intentions you couldn't see. Some people are meant to be lessons, not lifelong companions. Some places are temporary, not permanent. Prophet Yusuf Arabic, Tain Arabic, Lam Arabic, Yet Arabic, I Arabic, Alif Arabic, Lam Arabic, Sin Arabic, Lam Arabic, Alif Arabic. Meme was thrown into a well by his own brothers. It was the deepest form of isolation, abandoned, betrayed, alone. But that separation wasn't destruction, it was preparation. What looked like rejection was actually Allah's redirection. When Allah removes people from your life, it's often because their presence was blocking your growth. You may have been too dependent on them, too distracted, too attached. So He removes what's holding you back. It's painful, yes, but it's purposeful. He separates you from certain circles not because He wants you to be lonely, but because He wants to protect your heart. Perhaps those spaces were filled with negativity or sin, slowly pulling you away from your faith. Allah doesn't take something away from a believer except to give something better in return. So, when you lose something or someone, don't ask why me. Ask what is Allah teaching me. Isolation can be a classroom. Even the Prophet Muhammad experienced isolation before prophethood. He would retreat to the cave of Hira to reflect, not to escape, but to connect with Allah. When revelation came, he returned stronger and ready to change the world. When Allah isolates you, see it as preparation, not abandonment. He distances you so you can return to the world stronger, clearer, and more guided. Allah creates space in your life so He can enter your heart more deeply. Sometimes He isolates you because He's about to elevate you. Not everyone can handle your next chapter. Friendships, attachments, and habits that belong to your old self must be left behind. Like climbing a mountain, the higher you go, the fewer people can go with you. Allah's protection doesn't always look like a shield. Sometimes it looks like distance, silence, or loss. But behind it is divine care and wisdom. Don't chase after what Allah has removed. When He takes something away, He's redirecting you towards something better. When Allah isolates you, it's not rejection, it's selection. He's choosing you for a closer connection and stronger faith. My brothers and sisters, your value isn't in how many people surround you, like you, or remember you. Your worth is defined by how close you are to Allah. People's opinions change, their love fades, but when you anchor your heart to Allah, your peace becomes unshakable. The Prophet said, whoever seeks the pleasure of Allah, even if it displeases people, Allah will be pleased with him and make the people pleased with him too. Your goal is not to be liked, it's to be right with Allah. Even if people misunderstand you or walk away, He will protect your honor in ways you can't imagine. Wanting companionship is natural, but when we depend on people for happiness, we lose ourselves. The strongest believers were those who stood firm even when alone. Prophet Ibrahim Arabic, Tain Arabic, Lam Arabic, Yet Arabic, Ha Arabic, Lif Arabic, Lam Arabic, Sin Arabic, Lam Arabic, Lif Arabic, Meme, Prophet not Arabic, Tain Arabic, Lam Arabic, Yet Arabic, Ha Arabic, Lif Arabic, Lam Arabic, Sin Arabic, Lam Arabic, Lif Arabic, Meme, and our beloved Prophet Muhammad letter FDFA. They stood against entire nations with only Allah by their side. The more you depend on people, the more fragile your happiness becomes. But the more you depend on Allah, the stronger your peace. Is Allah not sufficient for His servant? Surah Az-Zumar 39:36. Sometimes Allah tests you by taking away the people you depend on, not to hurt you, but to remind you that your strength comes from Him. When you live for Allah instead of people, everything changes. You stop begging for attention. You stop chasing approval. You begin to live with quiet confidence because you know that if Allah loves you, the opinions of the world no longer matter. People's opinions of you will always change, but Allah's knowledge of you never will. He knows your intentions, your struggles, your pain, your effort. So focus on pleasing the one who truly matters. True strength is born in solitude. It's in those hidden moments, your private du'as, your tears, your patience, that your faith grows. The Prophet FDFA said that among the 7 who will be shaded by Allah is the one who remembers Him in solitude and his eyes overflow with tears. In this world, everything is public, even worship. But the heart needs private moments between you and Allah. That's where sincerity is tested. When no one sees you and you still worship, that's sincerity. When you give quietly, when you forgive silently, when you pray alone, that's real strength. Solitude is a mirror. It shows who you truly are when all the masks are removed. It reveals the depth of your connection with Allah. Do you remember Him when you're alone or only when others are around? True Iman is tested in private. The Prophet FDFA spent long nights in prayer even when his place in Jannah was guaranteed. Why? Because private worship was the source of his strength. When you are alone, that's your training ground. It's in those moments that you cry, seek forgiveness, and ask Allah for clarity. Solitude teaches discipline. It makes you honest even when no one is watching. It makes you modest when no one is around. It makes you patient when you could react. That is real strength, not just who you are in public, but who you are in private. If you want your faith to grow, spend time alone with Allah, turn your solitude into worship, read Qur'an quietly, speak to Him sincerely, build a personal relationship that no one can take away. When you remember Allah sincerely, loneliness disappears. Because solitude with Allah is not emptiness, it's the best kind of company. He listens when you whisper, responds when you don't speak, and comforts when no one else understands. That's the secret of solitude. It transforms loneliness into worship and turns isolation into inspiration. It builds your relationship with the one who never leaves you. So don't fear being alone. Instead, use it. Use it to recharge your faith. Use it to become closer to your Creator. Use it to build a heart that finds peace even when the world is silent. Because when your faith grows in solitude, no storm can shake it. When you learn to walk with Allah in the quiet, you can walk through any crowd without losing yourself. When you find peace in your private worship, no public challenge can break you. My brothers and sisters, solitude is not a weakness. It's where the strongest believers are made. The more time you spend alone with Allah, the more unshakable your heart becomes. So take those moments, cherish them, and let your solitude strengthen your faith. For the one who finds Allah in solitude will never truly be alone again. There will come a moment in every believer's life when the world slows down, and you begin to ask yourself the questions that truly matter. Why am I here? What am I doing with my life? Am I living in a way that pleases Allah? That moment of reflection, that quiet inner voice calling you to think, is one of the greatest blessings Allah can give you. Because reflection is the key to self-awareness, and self-awareness is the beginning of transformation. When you are alone, away from the distractions of the world, you finally have the space to think clearly. You can look at your life honestly, not as others see it, but as Allah sees it. You can begin to ask, am I growing in faith or drifting away? Am I using my time for what matters, or am I wasting it on what will not last? Many of us live our lives on autopilot. We wake up, work, talk, scroll, eat, and sleep. Days blur into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. And before we know it, life has passed us by. We are surrounded by noise, responsibilities, and distractions, and rarely do we stop to think about what it all means. But solitude, that blessed silence, gives you space to pause, breathe, think, and reconnect with your purpose. Allah constantly calls us in the Qur'an to reflect. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of night and day, are signs for those of understanding, those who remember Allah while standing, sitting, and lying on their sides, and reflect on the creation of the heavens and the earth, saying, Our Lord, you did not create this aimlessly. Surah Al-Imran 3, 190-191. Reflection is not simply thinking about life. It's recognizing the signs of Allah in everything, in the sunrise that greets you, in the challenges that shape you, in the people who come and go, and in the events that change you. Reflection transforms ordinary experiences into spiritual lessons. My brothers and sisters, solitude gives you the time to do muhasabah, self-accounting. The great scholars of the past would say, take account of yourself before you are taken to account. Ask yourself, what did I do today that brought me closer to Allah? What did I do that distanced me from Him? Did my words heal or hurt? Did I use my blessings wisely? Did I seek forgiveness sincerely? Life in this world is like a storm. Responsibilities, temptations, and emotions constantly pull us in different directions. Reflection anchors you again to what truly matters, your relationship with Allah, your purpose in serving Him, and the legacy you're leaving behind. Reflection requires honesty, admitting your mistakes, recognizing your weaknesses, and having the courage to change. The Prophet Muhammad DFA would spend time in contemplation even before prophethood. He would retreat to the cave of Hira, away from the noise of society, to reflect deeply. That solitude prepared his heart for revelation. Reflection prepared him for divine guidance. When you are alone, close your eyes and ask, what have I done with the time Allah has given me? Have I thanked Him enough? Have I been kind to those around me? These questions aren't meant to make you feel guilt, but to awaken your soul. Sometimes reflection reveals truths we've been avoiding. But once you see the truth, you can change it, you can start again. Solitude also deepens gratitude. When you sit alone, you begin to see the blessings you already have: your health, your family, your faith, your opportunities. Gratitude softens your heart, fades your pride, and strengthens your connection with Allah. When you pause long enough to ask why, Allah often shows you how. You begin to realize which pursuits are meaningful and which are distractions. You start prioritizing prayer over pleasure, forgiveness over pride, contentment over competition. That clarity brings peace. Reflection is not just thinking, it's remembering where you came from, where you're going, and the one who gave you both the journey and the destination. Every moment of reflection is a conversation with your soul, reminding it of its true home, Jannah. When you wake up early and the world is quiet, when you sit alone after a long day, when your phone is off and no one is calling, that is your time to think, to remember, to realign. Say to yourself, am I walking toward Allah or away from Him? If the answer is unclear, ask Him for guidance. The Prophet DFA said, the intelligent person is the one who calls himself to account and works for what comes after death. Let your solitude become your classroom. Let it be the space where you learn who you are, where you realize how merciful Allah has been, and where you decide the kind of person you want to become before you return to Him. In this fast-paced world, we are surrounded by noise, deadlines, and endless expectations. We give and give until we're empty. But being alone can be the best way to rebuild your strength. Solitude is not weakness, it's maintenance. Even the strongest hearts need time to rest, to recharge, and to reconnect with Allah. The Prophet Muhammad DFA lived among people, guided them, and smiled at them. But he also took time to be alone. That balance between service and solitude kept him grounded and strong. When you are alone, remember Allah is with you. You're not forgotten. You're being prepared. Think about how a tree grows. It doesn't grow in a crowd, it grows quietly beneath the soil, unseen. The same is true for your soul. Growth happens in silence. Solitude is where your spiritual roots deepen, and that's what allows you to stand tall when the storms come. Sometimes Allah isolates you because He wants to heal you quietly. He removes what was draining you so He can repair your heart in private. Just like a doctor treats wounds in silence, Allah heals your soul in solitude. And when the time comes, He will open doors so wide that you'll understand why the waiting was necessary. Solitude is not a punishment, it's preparation. Look at Prophet Yusuf Arabic, Tain Arabic, Lam Arabic, Yet Arabic, Ha Arabic, Alif Arabic, Lam Arabic, Sin Arabic, Lam Arabic, Alif Arabic, Meme. Years of isolation, betrayal, and hardship became the path to his elevation. What looked like rejection was actually redirection. My brothers and sisters, trust Allah's plan, trust His pauses, trust the silence, because Allah never leaves a heart that seeks Him empty-handed. He delays to give more. He tests to purify, He isolates to prepare. When the world grows quiet, that's not the absence of love, it's the presence of the most loving, giving you space to draw closer to Him. May Allah grant us patience in solitude, strength in trials, and hearts that find peace only in His remembrance. And may He allow us to follow the example of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, letter F, DFA, the man who turned loneliness into light. Ameen.